During the 1970s, there was a revolution in the rock and roll industry. That revolution was a band in England named Queen. They shook the industry with many hits and many albums, making top charts in the UK and all around the world. The band was made of four people, two of which were in a previous band, and two of which who joined later on. The first was Brian May. Brian Harold May was born on July 19th, 1947, in Hampton, Middlesex, England. His parents were Ruth and Harold May. He was creative and really enjoyed guitar and music. He even went on to make his own guitar with his father, which he played throughout all the concerts and albums. He attended Hampton Grammar School and then enrolled in astrophysics at the London Imperial College, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in science. Eventually, before achieving the PhD, he grew more fond of music and put the PhD aside to start a band. The second band member, Roger Meadows Taylor, was born on July 26, 1949, in King's Lynn, located in England's Norfolk County. When he was young, Taylor grew fond of many instruments and learned to play them before settling on drums. Taylor moved to London and studied dentistry and biology, but like Brian May, would pursue a musical career. In 1967, he began performing for the rock group Smile, which included guitarist Brian May. After the band's lead singer left, they joined with Freddie Mercury and they became Queen. Freddie Mercury was born on September 5th, 1946, in Zanzibar, Tanzania. He went to boarding school in Bombay, now Mumbai, India, where he learned piano. Soon enough, Freddie joined a band called the Hectics. After moving to London in the 1960s, Mercury studied at the Ealing College of Art. He met many musicians, including his future bandmates Roger Taylor and guitarist Brian May. In 1969, Freddie joined a band called Ibex as their lead singer. He sang with a couple of other bands before joining Roger Taylor and Brian May in their band after their lead singer left. John Richard Deacon was born on August 19th, 1951, in Leicester, England. As a child, he enjoyed electronics and music. He started playing guitar with the band The Opposition when he was only 14. He switched to bass guitar. The band changed its name to The New Opposition. In the 1960s, Deacon enrolled in the University of London to study electronics, yet he still left time in his life for music. In fall of 1970, he watched a performance by what was currently Queen. Little did he know he would be the last member to join the band. He joined the band in 1971, and the Queen lineup that would last for 2 decades was finished. Just a quick recap on where we're at. Roger Taylor and Brian May played for the band Smile. When their lead singer left, they joined forces with Freddie Mercury. And finally, after auditioning for Queen, John Deacon joined the band. After the lineup was ready to go, Queen instantly started making music with a self-titled album called Queen. The album made them fairly popular and landed them some offers by record companies like Chrysalis. Queen 2 was another album that made them a lot more popular than the first. The band at this point was very popular due to songs like The Seven Seas Arise, which broke the charts. Sheer Heart Attack was the third album by Queen. At this point in their career, they were touring, but one of the tours was cut short due to Brian May being diagnosed with hepatitis. Despite that, this album marked a significant step towards the classic Queen sound. This band also came out with one of its best songs, Killer Queen. Since critics called their next album, A Day at the Race, a boring album, they made their next album a little more mainstream. News of the World was that album, though it had mixed reviews. The Jazz album released songs like Bicycle Race and flourished in other countries, but not the US. Despite the band not being too fond of their own album, Live Killers, it still hit top 2 in the UK and top 200 on the US billboards. The Game was a fairly popular album along with Flash Gordon, which was a movie soundtrack. After Flash Gordon, movie soundtrack, the band decided to take a break, and they each parted ways for a while. After they did that, Hot Space was made, an album when they were reunited. They had started recording in LA. The Works was another album where Queen sang songs like Radio Gaga, and it was very popular. A Kind of Magic was an immediate hit in the UK, going straight to number 1 and selling 100,000 copies in its first week. It stayed in the UK charts for 63 weeks and it sold 6 million copies worldwide and 600,000 in the UK. The album had 4 hit singles: A Kind of Magic, One Vision, Friends Will Be Friends, and Who Wants to Live Forever. As if A Kind of Magic was not enough, The Miracle was another hit. The Miracle reached number 1 in the UK, Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, and Switzerland, and 24th place on the US Billboard 200 chart. The Miracle is estimated to have sold 5 million copies. Yet again, the band came out with another hit. Menudo was the last album ever done with a complete band, yet it reached the #1 spot in the UK charts, and it stayed at that position for 2 weeks. It also topped off #1 in Italy for 3 weeks, the Netherlands for 4, Germany for 6 weeks, and Switzerland for 8 weeks. Unfortunately, the band would stop making albums for a while. In 1987, Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS and had it throughout the albums The Miracle and Nudo. This realization made them move out of LA to Kensington, West London. His battle with the D's was tough, yet despite not needing any instruments, he sang with a beat to get as much done as possible. Freddie sang many songs without the band, knowing that when he died, his band could continue the work. After he stopped taking his medicine to speed up his deterioration, he died in his home at London. One of the best lead singers of all time had died, yet his legacy was unfinished. The loss of Mercury was painful for the band, as it was for many of the fans too. His band stopped playing for a while, yet many things happened after his death. When the band had eased out of their pain, they began working on his songs. He sang a lot and the band put it all to good use, like a really famous song, The Show Must Go On. Many people do not know that this song was made after his death. Meanwhile, they had also made a memorial concert in 1992. When the tickets finally went on sale, all 72,000 tickets were sold out in just 3 hours, even though no other performers, such as David Bowie, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses, were even announced. Many albums were released after his death, and his band continued to perform for many audiences. Despite dying at 45, Freddie Mercury had a huge 20-year career, landing the most top 10s, 25 of them only second to the Beatles, who had 27. On top of that, Bohemian Rhapsody had spent 14 weeks at #1, giving it the fourth longest stay at the top of the charts. Queen's songs easily made it up the charts, and in 2001, the band entered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Many of their achievements are cornerstones for music today, and the band will live on as one of the best and most successful bands in history.